Hello. Excuse me. It's 2 hours of the mid of the day, 7 minutes, Sunday 23. Okay, this is it. So at this time in Spain we used to eat. My family has gone for a walk. It's Sunday, you know. Probably they're gonna come soon, and they're gonna be willing to eat earlier. Usually we eat at 3 p.m. but during weekdays. But today is Sunday, maybe they want to eat at 2:30, something like that. So they're gonna come and they are gonna stop me in the middle of this podcast or video, I don't know how to call it, okay? So I am eating. Lo voy a decir en español. Perdón, estoy comiendo un pincho porque vienen mis padres, ahora van a venir, hoy es domingo, son las 2:08 de la tarde y pues nosotros solemos comer a las 2:30, 3, entre semana comemos a las 3, pero el fin de semana pues solemos comer 2:30, entonces van a venir, oye, que venimos a comer, y les voy a decir, no, que hoy no como, que ya he comido un pincho, ¿vale? Ahora, y entonces voy a hablar en inglés y en castellano un poco, porque antes he ido a pasear, me ha venido la idea de por qué era importante, y es importante que lo haga en inglés y en castellano, ¿vale? Luego vamos a hablar de Prometheus y cosas y movidas, y de inteligencia artificial sobre todo, ¿vale? Vamos a hablar de inteligencia artificial hoy, y vamos a hablar de la agenda A y la agenda B, ¿vale? De las dos agendas que tengo, ¿vale? Porque, claro, la agenda es un poco la de la comunidad, ¿no? Y la agenda B es la mía personal, y se juntan, ¿vale? Y se junta la inteligencia artificial y se junta todo y tal, y hay muchas cosas de las que tengo que hablar. Hoy puede ser esto una bomba. Voy a hablar, creo que me da que mucho en inglés ahora al principio, pero si lo veis en YouTube le podéis poner los subtítulos. Si esto es un podcast, si lo estáis oyendo vía podcast, yo no sé cómo se puede hacer un podcast, traducirlo. Ya os digo que mi inglés no es muy bueno, igual, pero bueno, a veces, en fin, bueno. Vale, pues, iré traduciendo cosillas y tal, ¿vale? Okay, so I am telling in Spanish that I'm gonna do some Spanish, some English talking during this session. Okay, but the thing is that I'm gonna talk about artificial intelligence and the A agenda and the B agenda that I have. I have like the community agenda, that is A. That has to be what has to be a change, let's say. Artificial intelligence is the episode of today, but we are going to talk about a lot of things. And sometimes this is my style. I have done like a documentary, 17, 19 episodes, and I have more extras with long time me talking, with image. Also, well, so so sometimes I change from this topic to this topic to this topic, but sometimes all connects at the end, and just enjoy the ride. And there is one thing I want to tell you, that sometimes when I translate to Spanish and you say, oh, I feel disappointed because now the guy is talking in Spanish and I don't understand Spanish. Yeah, that happens to me when I listen pop music from Japan, like in this movie of Kill Bill, right? They have like the band in Tokyo. When they go to Tokyo, they fight and all that, this surf music or whatever in Japanese, right? And it's super cool, man. And I like not to understand. And this happens to us, to the Latin community. We don't understand very well the songs of Rage Against the Machine or Frank Sinatra or whoever is talking. We don't understand all, right? Most of people don't understand 20% of it. But the thing is that it's relaxing sometimes not to understand what is going on. You listen somebody feeling something, and it's like, dude, the guy is feeling, and I begin to, maybe if you understand little pieces, you connect, you do the connection, and you create a new message. Unexpected message. Sometimes if everything has been calculated, there is no room for improvisation, and improv sometimes brings things unexpected, and that is, I think, is great, and creates alternative, and is helpful, you know, because everything in a box, and everything very well thought, and this is politically correct, and this not, and this blah, 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 blah. You know, we go into a loop. So breaking the loop. We are talking about artificial intelligence that I think is connected to this. So if I talk in Spanish, don't get, don't think this is lost time for you. Maybe it's a moment where you are free to connect things in a different way and create your own message. And I think that's important. You know, if we get the power to understand how we think, and, you know, that builds us a protection against artificial intelligence, for example, that the artificial intelligence plants seeds on us, even if we don't understand, if we don't know and understand. You know, the algorithm of X, of Twitter, yesterday or 2 days ago, I was going to talk about spirituality and all that, and there was some noises in the house, and I was like, okay, let them go to bed, and I'm gonna begin to record, you know, without noises that is gonna make me distracted. So I was waiting, and what I do, I'm gonna check X, if I have an X channel, and you know, so let's see if I have some visits. Is the typical thing, right? If the post I did, there is something nobody answers, but it's okay. So a news pop up there, right? The news, this girl, 11-year-old girl in the United States, went to the school, and the classmates told this girl, you know, that they were going to sue her or do something to deport her and her family, you know, and the girl went home and she committed suicide. You know, that was the news from a news company that is connected to Wall Street, and, you know, they are selling esketamine and all types of medication for mental health, and, you know, this news is totally and you cannot believe most of the things they say, right? And they are the most prestigious newspaper in Spain, and communication group, because they have a radio, they have a newspaper and all that. But anyways, I wanted to say this. I don't know where I was. Oh yeah, so the algorithm plants things. So what happened when I started recording my session of spirituality? I talk about that news, you know. This was in Spanish, but I talk about this news, and, you know, so artificial intelligence, the algorithm, can plant you seeds, and seeds that work better for you, because this seed A was planted in somebody with your profile, and he reposted. So they say, you have that profile, I'm gonna send you this seed. But if you have another profile, I send you this other seed. You know, and you are being manipulated very wisely and very silently, and you don't understand what's going on, and you are behaving one way, you know. And artificial intelligence connects a lot of things, different things, and begins to do, see the profile of somebody. I send them, you know, I just explained, you know, I send you this information, and you react one way. If you have the same profile that this guy, I'm gonna do the same if I want to get the same result. It's kind of easy, right? So yeah, so if I talk a lot in Spanish, I'm not gonna talk a lot in Spanish, actually, because did I talk about the AI? Actually, I'm not gonna talk in Spanish. I think I'm not, because I get lost. I have an AI, maybe a little bit in Spanish, sorry. Lo siento, audiencia en español. Hoy no vamos a hablar en español porque me lío. Me lío porque tengo bastantes cosas que explicar, ¿vale? He explicado aquí ahora mismo cosas que expliqué en el vídeo sobre espiritualidad de 1 hora 40 minutos, pero esto se puede ir muy lejos, como empecemos a hablar en español, en inglés, no sé, o igual hablo algo en español, no sé, ¿vale? Esto es un poco improvisación. estoy hablándoles también del poder de la improvisación, de que cuando ellos, la audiencia en inglés no habla castellano, no habla español, ellos van a oír algunas palabras que voy a decir como inteligencia artificial. Bueno, artificial intelligence es igual, entonces ellos estarán oyendo ahora algunas palabras, van a ir oyendo algunas palabras que ellos reconocen, porque el idioma anglosajón tiene muchas palabras que vienen del latín, ¿vale? Vamos a hablar de Italia también. Vamos a parlare, come è? Io voy a parlare della Italia, della lingua italiana, della comida, della cecina, del caballo, que nosotros, okay, so, así que voy a hablar de algunas cosas y ellos, la audiencia anglosajona, que solo habla inglés, van a ir conectando algunas palabras, van a oír Italia, van a oír caballo, igual saben que caballo es horse, saben que comida es food, o sea, es comida, para ellos es food, pero entonces van a oír palabras y van a empezar a conectar cosas, ¿vale? Entonces van a crear ellos una idea de mí y de lo que estoy diciendo ahora, ¿vale? Entonces eso puede ser positivo porque es una libertad que tienen ellos para crear su propio mensaje y crearse una idea y volar la imaginación y tal. Entonces yo les he animado, porque a mí me pasa cuando oímos, ¿verdad?, música en inglés, muchas veces no entendemos la letra de Frank Sinatra o de Rage Against the Machine, pero sabes que hay un tío sintiendo, haciendo no sé qué, y tú ya te metes la película y te creas hasta la letra. O sea, yo muchas veces me invento la letra de las canciones en inglés y me las canto en la ducha y tal, y te emocionas y tal, y creas tu propia narrativa. Y eso es mucha libertad, ¿vale? Porque así se inventan cosas como el Quijote, ¿me entiendes? Que el tío leyó unas libros y tal y ve un molino y se cree que el molino es un gigante, ¿vale? Entonces eso está guay también, a veces, ¿no? Entonces, a veces hacer este ejercicio, ¿no? A mí me gusta mucho oír música en japonés, muchas veces el pop japonés, que ya no entiendo nada, pero ves a una japonesa ahí tan... ¿no? En Kill Bill, por ejemplo, esto pasaba, ¿no? En Kill Bill entran en el bar donde se dan de hostias allá, la pelea y tal y cual, y ahí hay un grupo musical que mola mogollón, a mí me mola, y entonces me mola oír música de diferentes géneros, en diferentes idiomas, y no entender la letra, a veces es cojonudo, ¿vale? Es como el juego del teléfono, ¿vale? El juego del teléfono ¿sabes? Tú le dices a alguien al oído un mensaje, te lo dice alguien y tú se lo pasas al de al lado, y si estás un grupo de amigos, el amigo 1 ha creado el mensaje, y el amigo 11, cuando llega el amigo 11, lo repite y dice, este es el mensaje que me ha llegado. Y es muy gracioso porque dices, ¡buah! Del mensaje original al mensaje final, aquí ha habido un cambio total, ¿vale? Y es divertido, ¿vale? Entonces, y hablo un poco de que la inteligencia artificial, sí que es verdad que con la inteligencia artificial pasa un poco eso. La inteligencia artificial, tú has estado subiendo mogollón de cosas a Facebook, ¿vale? A Twitter, a Instagram. Y le pones hashtag. Y en el hashtag tú le estás diciendo a la máquina, me interesa esto, esto me produce esta sensación. La máquina oye el audio, si en el audio hay muchos picos de voz, pues ya sabe que es una cosa agitada. Esa palabra puede ir conectada a una polémica. Entonces, si tú estás viendo vídeos de polémica, te sugiere más vídeos de polémica para que pases más rato en la aplicación, ¿vale? Entonces la inteligencia artificial lo que hace es, te conoce muy bien, porque has estado subiendo mucho contenido, has estado dándole like a cosas, y si le das like a cosas y ese mismo vídeo le ha dado like a ese vídeo una persona que tiene un perfil parecido a ti, que tiene likes en cosas parecidas a ti, la máquina aprende que tú puede que no hayas revelado toda tu información, pero otro con los mismos likes ha revelado otra información y dice, y este son iguales, aunque ni ellos se conozcan ni ellos lo sepan, son iguales en estos temas. Entonces, lo que le está gustando a este, se lo voy a enviar a este, ¿vale? Y creo una audiencia más grande, ¿vale? Esto es muy peligroso, ¿vale? Esto es muy peligroso. Y las máquinas hoy en día además tienen la capacidad de generar ellos mismos texto. O sea, tú ahora cuando subes hay aplicaciones para subir vídeos y post a Twitter y a Facebook y a Instagram, y tienes una aplicación que le das inteligencia EA inteligencia artificial, le das al botón y te crea los hashtags y el texto del vídeo. O sea, la inteligencia artificial ya es bastante lista y te puede hacer muchas cosas y es mucho más lista todavía en niveles que no tenemos acceso nosotros, ¿vale? ¿Vale? Hay que hablar del progreso también. ¿Hacia dónde progresamos, verdad? Sí, porque esto de la inteligencia artificial podría ser cojonudo si diseñamos unos robots que limpien baños, ¿vale? Porque limpiar baños, hay muchas personas con las manos hinchadas, con artrosis, agachándose en el patio del colegio a coger todas las mierdas de las chucherías que tiran los niños, etcétera, etcétera. Eso me lo contó eso una persona el otro día, ¿no? Pues acabas jodido de la salud, de tal, las Kellys, en los hoteles, haciendo las camas, el empresario del hotel que ya quiere cambiar la ley para que no tengan que poner camas que se suben, para que ellas puedan hacer las camas mejor. Entonces la tecnología, hay una tecnología para esas camas que se suban pero no, la quieren quitar, ¿vale? Y entonces de repente están haciendo una tecnología que es una inteligencia artificial para que haga películas, que cree post, que haga artículos, que te redacta artículos. ChatGPT ya te redacta el artículo, pero yo he hecho guiones de post, no en esta última serie, en su día empecé a investigar la inteligencia artificial y te hacía el guión del post. Y lo ibas leyendo, lo ibas diciendo, no sé qué, y estaba bastante bien. Era súper fácil, hacías un post en 30 minutos. Entonces, claro, pues ¿hacia dónde va la inteligencia artificial? ¿Por dónde han apostado? Han apostado no por mejorar una tecnología que evite que haya mujeres o hombres, pero las Kelly son mujeres sobre todo, con la espalda destrozada de hacer camas, de hacer camas al turismo y no sé qué, que es tan grandioso. Que por cierto, sí que empieza a haber turistas que responden a las manifestaciones delante de hoteles y parece ser que están empezando a poner reclamaciones en los hoteles NH de, oye, que aquí hay poco personal, claro, porque se quejan, están así, oye, que no me atienden, que hay poco personal. No, señor, lo que tiene que hacer es una queja, una reclamación, que pongan más personal, por favor, que estoy pagando y no me atienden y la persona no le da abasto porque hay poca gente aquí, porque queréis recortar coste para tener mucho beneficio, ¿vale? Entonces, esto está pasando, que los turistas ya empiezan a tener cerebro. Esto está guay. Algunos ya lo tenían, otros no lo tenían. No, que yo estoy de turista, aquí no me... Vale, pues te van a atender mal en el hotel, que lo sepas, porque están a recortar gastos. Luego llorarás. Pero bueno, en fin, entonces, la inteligencia artificial y todo esto se está desarrollando a crear guiones de películas. Coño, pero si eso no es un trabajo duro. Es un trabajo duro, sí, a veces la inspiración es jodida, tal cual, yo lo he pasado, es psicológicamente tal, ¿vale? Pero es un trabajo muy enriquecedor porque investigas, aprendes del tema y lo pones en un guión y haces una película y no sé qué, y le das una visión que no estaba presente, etcétera, etcétera. Crear una visión que no estaba presente con inteligencia artificial va a ser muy difícil, ¿vale? Sí que toma de muchos lados y te puede, pero te va a replicar lo que ya hay, es el loop que os he dicho, de que no creas nada, el cerebro se atrofia. Bueno, entonces, ¿por qué estamos desarrollando una inteligencia artificial para crear películas? Para crear sentencias, los abogados y tal, para crear el discurso con inteligencia artificial y tal. ¿Os dais cuenta que son posiciones de poder? La inteligencia no está yendo a donde podría ayudar a personas físicamente a no estar con esos dolores. No. La inteligencia va hacia el control de las masas. El objetivo de la inteligencia artificial es controlar la masa, ¿vale? Con guiones, con noticias fake news, pero que le llamas fake news, pero que no son las fake news del típico... claro, que sí las crean también, pero que la televisión española, Radio Televisión Española está con fake news, entonces la inteligencia artificial coge las fake news ya de Radio Televisión Española y las replica está en todos los niveles, entonces son posiciones de poder, y es un tío... Con el algoritmo va a crear las noticias y va a crear el cine, va a crear las películas. Ya tienes unas imágenes del entrenador de Inglaterra, de la selección de Inglaterra de fútbol, que el tío da un discurso que dice que yo no soy, porque no debe ser inglés, y yo no soy inglés y no sé qué, ¿no? Y una cosa como muy ¿vale? Es todo creado por inteligencia artificial, el discurso de ese tío, ¿vale? Tú lo ves y parece él, es su voz, es todo, ¿vale? Entonces eso es una posición eso es una tecnología para poder, para el poderoso, ¿vale? Para eso es la inteligencia artificial y Silicon Valley está haciendo eso, ¿vale? Está luchando por eso. Te crea una adicción con el móvil, te crea esto de que estás enfermo, TikTok, yo tengo TOC, yo tengo TDAH, yo tengo no sé qué, te vendo el medicamento con la Lady Gaga, con la otra, ¿cómo se llama? La mexicana esta, de que no es mexicana, pero bueno, la pocha, ¿cómo se llama? Esta sale en la película de Carla Gascón, no sé cómo se llama, no sé cómo se llama, salía en el Club Disney, ¿puede ser? Esta chica empezó en el Club Disney, es retrasada, esta también vende antipsicóticos, es amiga de Lady Gaga, no sé cómo se llama. Es famosa, ¿eh? Famosa, sí. O sea, vale, pues esta chica, también hay que decirlo, sí, es amiga de la Lady Gaga y tal cual, y nada, el otro día salía llorando que había muchos deportados y no sé qué. ¿Qué haces llorando ahora? Pero si así estaba apoyando a Obama y todo este sistema de exportación, o sea, de exportación, sí, de exportación, pero de destrozar, ¿no? A los esclavos ilegales, o sea, te quiero decir. Ahora te grabas un vídeo llorando en internet y tal. No. No sé cómo se llama. Es igual. Bueno, luego me vendrá, si me viene lo diré. Selena Gómez, ¿vale? Selena Gómez. Esta es lo peor. Bueno, pues son posiciones de poder, ¿vale? Esto de la tecnología, la inteligencia artificial, Silicon Valley, etcétera. En realidad, libertad sexual poca, ya te digo, los psicofármacos. La potencia sexual te la quitan, no al 100%, pero pierdes y tal. Y libertad sexual cero, y estos son. O sea, te quiero decir. Y luego que hay más cosas en agenda, ¿sabes? Que sí, que el tema. Y hay más cosas en agenda, que libertad sexual no ha llegado, hay más posibilidades sexuales, ¿vale? Yo, por ejemplo. Eh, lo voy a decir en inglés igual, voy a cambiar porque llevo ya 10 minutos en castellano, igual es me la... Sorry. I was thinking, I was telling them that I was going to talk only in English, but then I thought maybe it's a good idea to say what I'm saying in Spanish to the Spanish audience that, they need to know too, so it will be helpful if somebody does this in English and I do this in Spanish. That would be a good idea. My partner, I thought my future partner, she talks Spanish. I don't know yet. Well, I was ending in the mini short that I did in Spanish previously to this talking in English. I was talking about sexual freedom, the Silicon Valley theory that, by writing the pronouns in your social media, you are developing sexual freedom, and Silicon Valley, we are all free thanks to Lady Gaga and Selena Gomez, which I think Selena Gomez is a cancer for Latin community, for everybody. She's supporting antipsychotics, all this type of medication. She cries for the deportation bullshit. You have been supporting Obama and all this. Obama started the deportations, massive deportation and illegal slaves, the illegal slave market and system and scheme, of having illegal slaves and telling them, give me your boat, and when we give you the boat, and they go and you go and you legalize weed, so the border now there is no way of living in the border now, because weed was a good business. You make it illegal first, and then the business started, and then you make it legal, and then you destroy the system there of people eating from that business, and then we have to make some money, live, so maybe we can help people cross the border. And then Obama, what did he? Okay, you are crossing more people the border. I take people massively out of the country. Deportations started with Obama, and Bill Clinton has a message in 1994 or 5. He was saying, we have to do illegal aliens is a super risk and all that. So these Democrats, they were in favor of slavery at the beginning, and they are back in slavery. So yeah, and Obama allowed all these deportation, the illegal scheme of slavery that they give the social security numbers in some agencies. They give you a social security number of somebody North American with a social security number in jail, and you can work with the fake social security number. And these companies, they hire these illegals through these companies that were hiring agencies for illegals, and they give you pay me some money and I give you a social security number, and then you can work in this factory. And they go to the factory, they work, and then the week ends and they go, hey, give me my money, I need to eat. And the hiring agency that collects the money from the factories with investments from the Kardashians and J.Lo, Jennifer Lopez, and selling leggings made in these factories. This is in the New York Times. I am not creating this information. I read the information in the New York Times. Okay, so they pay the hiring agency the money. They pay the factory of the J.Lo, pays the money to the hiring agency run by Latinos like Selena Gomez, with papers, with nationality. So yeah, they know the illegal slaves, and they tell them they create this, and then they don't pay the illegal slaves the money of the week. You understand, right? So the guy is an illegal slave. He cannot go to the police to say, Selena Gomez hiring agency is keeping my money. And Selena Gomez also, because the guy is not Selena Gomez, but is that circle of people, is creating in Beverly Hills, in the hotel of Beverly Hills, a fundraising for illegals, for immigration and all that. So, that is the perversion of these people is amazing. So I was talking about this, and not really this, but this in other words and all that in a different language, but I say in different episodes. So about this, I didn't talk about Selena Gomez before, so I wanted to talk now. But yeah, so I was talking about sexual freedom, that this is like the, okay, we do all this shit, we get you engaged in social media and all that, but by getting you in social media, there is sexual freedom, and we are fighting for freedom and all that. Well, illegal slaves, they are not getting freedom. Obama was there because of Silicon Valley, Facebook and all that. Lady Caca, I call her Lady Caca. Caca in Spanish means shit, but I call it's Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga is Lady Caca for me. Lady Caca, she started her career in 2008. 2008 is the year of Facebook. 2008 is the year of Obama. That all started with the Silicon Valley, Facebook, and everybody in Facebook. Lady Caca, Lady Caca is selling for the pharma industry. It's a product of the pharma industry. Antipsychotics. Yeah. So they talk. This is like the sexual freedom. Okay, sexual freedom. And we do sexual freedom pronouns and all that. They asked me about my pronouns in social media recently. I began to write it. This is my pronouns, it. I don't like pronouns, It's he or she, For me, Carla Gascon is she. For, Robert De Niro is he. Plain, simple. Okay. So, I don't like, because why? Because I don't feel integrated in this system. When we stop LGBTIQ, yeah, but what if you like to be fucked in the ass by your wife? Are you gay? Are you bisexual? There are different possibilities. So you begin to start with this, and this can happen with the pronouns. And you are he, she, they, them, and I am it. And in some places they don't allow you to put it. So I don't like a system that doesn't include me. And also, if I have the right to tell my boss, you have to call me by it in all the communications from the company, you know, and if you don't do that, I'm gonna sue you for gender affirmation discrimination. Gender discrimination because you don't consider it in the communications of the company. You know, the company, you know, begins to have all the communication like he, she, or it must wash his hands after they, it, she, they, he, him, and whatever has to wash her, it hands after eating lunch. Imagine you have that in the office, right? Well, it has to have all the pronouns, you know, so that stops creativity. I mean, yeah, obviously, it's creativity. I started creativity with this. Nazism always creates creativity and solutions, right? So I found out that I am it. My pronouns are it. I don't know if it's correctly. And you may say, and why you are explaining this in English and not in Spanish, right? Because it in Spanish is not, dog in Spanish is el perro, you know, so el perro, el, you know, but in English is it, right? Animals are it, right? So I am it, and you say dog, you know, you say el perro, you want to be called it, by it, those are your pronouns, yes, it, yeah, because I am a dog. Okay, so there is a moment of building the joke, right? I don't know how to build the joke very well. I was planning to say this in the future, but I say, okay, I'm gonna say this today because we are talking about artificial agency. Let's break the artificial intelligence. I'm gonna say something too. Sometimes I get confused. EA, IA, artificial intelligence, you know, and maybe you think I am retarded, right? I am not retarded. Not like officially retarded. No, I am not retarded, you know. But what I want to say is that what I was going to say? Yeah. I am building the joke right now, but the dog, we will go to the dog. But what I was going to say? So in Spanish, artificial intelligence is inteligencia artificial. You know, this is I and A, right? And in English is artificial intelligence, right? So it's AI. So it's kind of confusing, you know? And the letters, we use Latin. The alphabet is Latin or Greek alphabet? No, it's the Latin alphabet. You know, and we have a different pronunciation of the letters. A for you is A for me. I Latina in English is I, right? So it's kind of confusing, right? So that's the explanation. I was going to talk about Italy. So you will remember about the it joke, dog, or should I finish this now? Yeah, I'm gonna let it build. Maybe it gets lost in the message later, but well, I will remember. Total, yes. So I'm gonna go talk about Italy. Yeah, because I have a agenda. Did I talk about this at the agenda? A agenda. Right, like the community agenda, you know, right now the topic is artificial intelligence, you know, we are in danger, they can create images, you know. I talk about the national football coach of England. He's not national, he's from Sweden, I don't know exactly, for first time in the history, I think, or something like that. So this guy, there is a video of this guy talking about this topic. I am the first non-English and I want people to know that I will fight for England. Well, you see the images and it's like perfect him, and you think it's him, it's his voice. It's all made by artificial intelligence. So we are in danger of receiving those type of messages. And The worst thing of the artificial intelligence is that they know a lot about me because I upload post to Instagram, to Twitter, to Facebook, and I use hashtags, right? When you use a hashtag and the algorithm receives that hashtag and analyzes the video or the voice, and if the voice has a lot of, it goes up and down, and there is a screaming and all that, the artificial intelligence knows that I am uploading content with a lot of violence or whatever, or very sad. So they know me, right? The guy is posting this type of content. Maybe he wants that type of content. The people that is following me maybe wants that type of content, and they begin to spread the seeds of the content the algorithm wants, and the guy that controls the algorithm controls the planting of the seeds all over the internet, right? So you can create for the same message, it's not like you can create a nothing, National Socialist message, and you don't have to write it in a Nazi way. You can do different types of, you can say, we have to kill all the Jews, right? And do the post with a Nazi flag, on that, and it's very obvious the audience that is gonna be outraged by that message, right? So if you know the people that is gonna be outraged by that type of message, you send them that type of message if you want them outraged, right? But if you want to say Jews must die and you don't want people to get outraged, and they get outraged with the Nazi symbol and all that, but maybe you go with the rainbow flag and you don't say Jews must die. You have to say, for example, woman with wigs are oppressed, and oppressed and oppressors are usually very they wear dark clothes and a hat. And the next video in the feed of the guy is a guy with a hat and and with the name, and we are the Jews from Pennsylvania. You know what I mean? And you do the connection. You see the rainbow flag, beautiful, and then you see this guy, and it's like, oh, motherfucker, this is the new Nazi. You know what I mean? So, it's kind of easy. This is the problem of the AI. The AI controls all the likes I have done in my life to Facebook, and Cambridge Analytica, right? They knew if you like the A-Team, you like Rambo, you like MacGyver, and you like Michael Jackson, you are this type of person. You don't like the rainbow flag, and you need information with the Nazi flag. Okay, we are gonna send you that type of content with the same message that we are going to send it to the other guy, but with different words, with different, with different techniques. The message is the same, but, so you can create, the new world war, you can destroy the world. Yeah, that's why I say in previous episodes, I think in Spanish, that, the Califato Omeya, the Islamic Empire. Hola, no voy a comer hoy, que ya he comido un aperitivo y eso, y estoy grabando, ¿vale? Y estoy grabando ahora mismo. Gracias. Aupa.
¿No tengo algo, ¿eh?
Sí, no te preocupes. Cierra la puertica, por favor. Okay, so yeah, they want to eat, they are gonna eat, and I say I have an appetizer, and I'm not gonna eat now. So so I'm talking about the Muslim empire, let's call it this way, the Islamic, that lasted 600-700 years. The Romans was like 600 years, the Greeks were 600 years, the Egyptians were 600 years, the Chinese, 2,000, 4,000, depending how you look. They are coming back now, okay? But the American empire, like, the 49ers or whatever, they were, whatever, 200, the American really empire started after the Second World War, let's say, 75 years and still going. I don't know when it's gonna finish. If it's good to finish, maybe you leave. The British Empire. The British Empire started after the independence, mostly those years, the independence of the United States. So sometimes if you lose one part, you grew in a different direction, and well, that's another episode. But what I was saying, I cannot talk about everything, but the Silicon Valley Empire is 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes. They started at it's already gone. Because of this, when you have these tools, brainwashing the whole world, and you create this. I mean, if I say this with the medications, with the vaccine for AIDS, they never found the vaccine for AIDS. They found a treatment for AIDS that you have to eat one pill every day, which is an advance, but it's one pill for forever. It's a client forever. A vaccine is no more. You flush the vaccine, you shoot the vaccine, and there is no gonna be more needed, and the sickness will disappear or whatever. If the vaccine is real and it works, because there are vaccines that works, vaccines that don't work, like there is vaccines, Patrick Mahomes, there are vaccines, O.J. Simpson, they are both NFL players, but O.J. Simpson is an NFL player that kills, and Patrick Mahomes is an NFL player that gives you joy and scores and makes a good show, let's call it this way, okay? So the same with vaccines, but the AIDS vaccine never came. It came the solution with one pill forever, right? If I were doing a video about NASCAR, we will have now me talking about cars and about NASCAR, right? But I am talking about artificial intelligence, right? So that's why we have this video this way, right? The same happens with the vaccine of AIDS. If you look for a vaccine for AIDS, you find a vaccine for AIDS. If you look for a treatment forever that, is always making you sell more and more pills, you find that. And the same with artificial intelligence. If you look for an artificial intelligence to control the world, you get an artificial intelligence to control the world and the thinking, and this way of planting seeds in different feeds of everybody in social media, and then radicalize and do all this shit, right? And when people is tired of that shit, you become with the agenda of the pronouns. Let's talk about pronouns. With my transgender friends in LA, we never talk about gender. I mean, I think it wasn't in 2013 when I was in that in recovery with people in a house of LGBTQ whatever recovery house. We never talk about gender. We talk about recovering from addiction and getting a job, and I talk in the documentary about the difficulty for people, transgender people, to find jobs. And most of them, they have to go into prostitution. But the thing is that if you create pronouns, and you create this, a baker man, that is gonna retire and is 60 years old and is looking for somebody to take the the relevation of the business, and if the guy has to find a new candidate, and that candidate has to be called by it, maybe in all the what I say, wash your hands after please wash your hands after meal, and if you have to pronounce there or whatever, you have to they, them, it, ears. Employees have to wash their hands after, it's gonna be a lot of work for this baker man, and how I call you, baker it, baker dog, baker them, I am baker man or baker woman, it kind of is simple, sometimes simple, helps you be hired. You don't go to the job interview. I need to be called hers, then it, and sometimes whatever, and then I don't have to. That's what that's my point here. And so you are a transgender person and you are not gonna be hired by the baker man, because the baker man is old. He doesn't know how to deal with this. He doesn't want to feel bad. I made a mistake. I didn't call him dog. I call him. So but they wanted you to be in the phone talking about this shit, so they created this shit, this agenda with Lady Caca, Oprah, and all that, selling medications and all that. They are all in the internet. So I don't want to get lost with this thing. So the artificial intelligence has gone in the direction, and the technology is in the direction of controlling people, not taking away out of very hard jobs that we are, in danger of having, no, they are not in food security, food security. No, they take the food from Mexico to, and if there is a problem in the border, the corn is not, there is not going to be corn in America, in USA. And the same happens with Europe. They are bringing the meat from Brazil and Argentina to Spain. You have to go with a ship through the ocean, and at the same time the European Union doing this business and allowing this to happen, that is going to cut all the beef and all the producers of cows in Spain and in Europe. They are going to be lost, because producing those cows in Argentina and Brazil is much cheaper. But they are doing this, and at the same time they are asking for money to create a European army. So, and why is the excuse for asking for money for a European army? There is going to be a war soon with Russia, and Russia, they have submarines. Russia goes, or whoever you get in trouble with, they have a submarine or a ship. They block commerce in the Atlantic Ocean, and we don't eat in Europe if the food comes from Brazil and Argentina. So the European Union is the FDA from Europe is even worse than the FDA in America. Transgenic food, everything, they do everything. Business is the most important thing. So technology and development is not going into our benefit. Is benefiting for that wants to control the world, and Silicon Valley is the head of that. They have gone in that direction, controlling the world, controlling your brain, with bullshit, fighting one to another and all that. And we have to use that against them, and more things against them, and it's gonna be a shutdown of energy, electricity. There is not gonna be more electricity for some days and weeks, months, and we are gonna be together again in a community. We will, I'm gonna do so. Let's go into the B agenda right now, because this is connecting A agenda and B agenda. My own personal agenda is that I am looking for a partner that speaks English. If she speaks Spanish, it also will be cool too. It's a lot of work for me to explain all these things, and it will be nice to have a debate, or maybe we can, and also there is gonna be like a lockdown, like the lockdown. I'm not gonna be able to travel a lot. We are not gonna have, if you have an electric car and sun panels, solar panels, you have solar panels and an electric car, you may be able to move around a little bit, go find some food for the community. But I'm not going to be able to travel to the United States. So my priority right now is to find this person, this girl. I know who is she already and all that. She's not answering my phone calls, my message, my voice message, my video message, my written message, WhatsApp, whatever, everywhere. No, emails, nothing is working. I don't know what's going on. and I need this, because it's really demanding for me. Right now I could go on with the thing of the artificial intelligence. I think I have given a little bit my view. It's not a personal view, it's all over the place, this. But maybe, I have to tell this in Spanish too. This is a lot of work. Also spiritually, having somebody connected to you helps you feel like, I am not alone. Even this is only 49 minutes, but 49 minutes, but I've been walking, thinking about all this. It's not like I come and vomit this that I do, but I don't have a written script, and I'm not gonna have it never, because but is helpful to be like connected to somebody to do things together. Yeah. So yeah, I can talk more. Let's go with this is gonna be today 1 hour and a half, maybe more. Yeah, 1 hour 30 minutes is gonna be, for me, it's a good idea. I need this, I need help on, we are talking about important business. I think, when you find out we are at risk, so it will be super cool, to think about. I'm gonna do this probably in Spanish, maybe it's gonna be in Spanish, because the shutdown is gonna be in Spain too. I'm gonna do like a series of talking about, I'm gonna share my experience creating getting ready for the lockdown, the shutdown, okay, of electricity. I'm gonna look for my old radio with batteries. I'm gonna look for batteries, rechargeable batteries. I'm gonna look for maybe how to get energy from the sun. I think with the shutdown we are gonna have like some hours of light, so I'm gonna think in 2 hours of electricity, 2 hours of electricity, what I need, the phone, maybe the speaker, and maybe, but I also need the batteries for the radio, to have radio, maybe a car radio. A car battery it can be useful for, maybe I'm gonna look for my neighbors in the area that are radio amateurs, right? Those guys, with the headphones at night, selling message to Cuba or to Siberia. I know people that does this actually. You can send a message from Cuba to Siberia, or from Spain to Siberia, or to Cuba, or to LA, to New York. You can do all these things, and it's happening, and that doesn't need a lot of energy. So maybe with a car battery we are gonna be able to do community radio stations, analogic community radio stations, and that is very interesting topic to do, like a podcast, and I'm gonna share this and all that has, so I because I've been into the pharmaceutical thing. You can watch all the things in the nomoreunemployed.org. I have even created a political party here in Spain. Yeah, it's in now they are doing the process of approving the political party, but I think it's gonna be okay, and I'm gonna have a political party too, to control the European thing of the food. It's called PLA, Partido Locura Alimentación. P is partido, means party. L, locura, is locura means crazy. Like antipsychotic, antidepressants, all medications, all healthcare, the business of healthcare, opioids, opioids in America, the Sacklers, FDA, Robert Figuera, Francis Kennedy Jr., all that going on. And A is alimentation. I don't know if alimentation is an English word. You have a lot of Latin words, so maybe alimentación, but means food, so we will be like PCF, let's call it in English. Party, craziness, and food. and we can have the PLA, pelea. So PLA in Spanish is PLA. PLA, if you read all, is pelea. Pelea means fight. Pum, 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 pum. And you can have one in Mexico, Argentina, Colombia, you can have those type of parties because it's global. Bolivia, in Bolivia too, right? Yeah, in Bolivia, Johnson & Johnson, they are selling a medication for kids for ADHD, that in Spanish is TDAH, but so if you hear me, I use TDAH. If you listen, TDAH, when I talk TDAH, I'm talking about ADHD, and they are doing commercial, not commercial, like documentaries in Spanish TV. Last night, they were talking about medication for TDA, in English is ADHD, is super cool and all that, and it's not cool, after 8 years, the kids are worst, taking that shit, and it's Johnson & Johnson, the guys that sell that shit, and they are in Bolivia too, so there is, we have the chance to grow all over Latin America, United States, you name it. Now in the United States is Robert Francis Kennedy Jr., so I don't think it's needed now in this type of party, but maybe, it's not bad to have that there for forever, yeah, and maybe, if that is needed, we are ready to build up in the United States, yeah, and in England, Ireland, I don't know, Austria for sure, Italy for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about Italy right now. Why I talk about Italy? Because this is my B agenda. My B agenda is about connecting to a person in the United States, right? She is not. I think she has some Jewish connection somehow, because, yeah, this is, I have to say it, I have to say it. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to make famous this person, but she's online and she has a movie, so, well, I'm gonna say this. She has done a movie. She's the actress of a movie and producer and writer, I think, but it comes from a book. The book, the guy that wrote the book, he has a last name that I think is Jewish, but there is all type of Jewish in America. There is good Jewish, like Judy Chamberlain, right? Judy Chamberlain, right? This woman, right? Judy Chamberlain, right? She has this book that this is like this take me out of hell, yeah. Obviously, the people that told me about the book and the people that translate the book help me, obviously, but the book was written in the 60s, and in the 60s, yes, and she develops an idea of freedom from mental health, and why mental health is so fucking horrible and dangerous, and the business and all these psychiatrics and psychologists telling you what to do and think, and you are sick and come to my office and pay me, and all this fucking business on making people think that they need you to be safe, you know what I mean? Like, Judy Chamberlain, she was Jewish, she has an abortion, and she got into depression, and she got depression, so no, it's not allowed to be depressed, you need to go to the doctor in New York, and they took her to the doctor, and you are gonna go and you are gonna be in this mental hospital. We are gonna control what you eat, what you read, what you do, and you are gonna get fixed. She didn't got fixed, she had to go in, and the book tells you about how you recover from that, and She did a lot of, she goes to Canada, Vancouver, she moves, she fights for her freedom, she was taking out her freedom, she went into the public service of mental health, that is even worse, but for some things are better because they don't pay you that much attention, so not getting attention sometimes is better, you know, you don't get, sometimes if you have money, you go to a better psychiatric hospital and is where they fuck you, you know, with all the resources, you know, so sometimes not having resources may be useful, may be better for you. So she was Jewish. But Jewish like the Sacklers too, you know, the Sacklers, Raymond Sackler, you know, Raymond Sackler. The books are interesting. They talk about things that really interest me, and they did the first part, but there is 3 books at least, so I can use. We can use, or maybe you can use. You know, this is your book. It's not my book. I have plenty of ideas every morning, but the thing they talk about Iran, you know, the Iran, the operation Ajax operation by the CIA in 1953, you know, because Iranians, they tried to go the democratic way when they took out the Shah that was selling for peanuts the oil to the British company BP, you know. They were getting the oil from Iran from peanuts, you know, very low money, right? And so, you know, the Shah was allowing that, and they took out the Shah, they did democratic elections, and the British Empire with the CIA in United States, they decided to take away this democratic new president because he was looking into the numbers of the oil company, the national oil company from Iran, you know, and the British connection with British Petroleum and all that. I have to read the book. I haven't had time, but it's very interesting. The book is very interesting because shows what is going on now with Dodge. Actually, Dodge and Elon Musk, he's looking the numbers and they want to kill him, you know, because he's finding and fighting corruption, you know, fighting, pelea España, you know, that's a good inspiration too. Yeah, so they have like this book. She's kind of somehow Jewish, and at some point I figured out why that is important. Well, that is important because I am from Spain, the north of Spain. I am not sure if they do this in the. I was thinking about that, right? Like because I got an idea, business idea. With this thing, you know, because I eat a Spanish ham. A Spanish ham is from. We have you have like the leg of the pig, and you eat, right? You cut it and eat it every day. It's super. I like it, you know. It's from Andalucía, Salamanca, Badajoz. We buy in Badajoz, but in Andalucía you have very good too. Salamanca, very good. And that Spanish ham, right, is from pig. And I was thinking, you know, the Arabs, they don't eat pig, you know. Well, first I thought, because one day somebody said, imagine if the Chinese would like to eat jamón, you know, ham, you know, we will have to pay like a super high price for the ham, you know, because everybody wants ham. There is a few number of pigs every year, so the price goes up. The same happens with the beef from Argentina and Brazil. In Argentina and Brazil, locals they are not allowed now to eat beef as they used to in the past because of the exportation, because of globalization. The landowners, the big landowners of Argentina and Brazil, they sell to Europe, they get more money from the beef, so the beef gets more price, so you cannot pay. If you are Argentinian and Brazilian, you cannot pay for beef, dude. So exportation and globalization is fucking these people and fucking the people in Europe that produces beef, that they cannot compete with the prices from Argentina and Brazil, you know. So people lost, and the very few in the middle up, they win, you know. The same with Spanish ham. If Chinese begin to eat Spanish ham, we are fucked, right? With the prices, it's gonna go, we're not gonna be able to eat. So, but there is one community, so I thought, the Arab world, they don't eat pork, right? They don't eat pig, pork, whatever, right? The Jewish don't eat pork neither, some of them, obviously some of the Arabs too, but the theory says that, whatever. So I was thinking, the other day there was a demonstration, you call it, like a when workers go to the streets, with we won't work because work is running, we are running out of work, they are closing factories. And there was at the same time one in my hometown, Pamplona, and in another town called León. León in Spanish means lion. I don't know why they have that name. The area is called, it was a kingdom in the past, now it's Castilla León. There are, maybe it's gonna go separate Castilla from León, but the kingdom was León. Castilla was like a county. Castilla was the county of the kingdom. Actually was connected to the kingdom of Navarra, of Pamplona, at the beginning. Well, and still, but different kingdoms, but the family controlling that, the same people, it's kind of, it's not the topic today. But León, they produce something that is fucking amazing. Not many people knows that in Spain, and I think not in the world, and it's a good food, it's like ham from cows and sometimes from horses, right? So that's why this is in the B agenda, and now you begin to understand why I'm talking about, eating cow, cow meat, right? So let me finish with the other part and I will come back, and I have to talk about why I like to be, my pronouns are it and dog. Okay, I will explain this. So the thing is that the why I am gonna promote publicly this meat of cow and horse that goes through a process similar like the ham of the pork, that you let it dry with some salt and all that, and when the leg of the horse or the leg of the cow dries, it's like a ham, and it's so good. This is so good, but it's so expensive. It's much more expensive than the pork ham. Why is that? I think because there is no much production, there is very few production of that, and this product could be easily sold in the Arab world. We have now the king living in Abu Dhabi. Maybe he could be talking these people, dude, we have this. You put olive oil with the cecina. It's called cecina. The cecina, this meat of this ham of cow. Very thin slices, and with olive oil and bread. You have some olives, very Arab world too, you connect that, very Jewish too, some hummus, and you have a perfect appetizer, So this place like León, they don't have now much industry, and they need some things going on there for economic activity, and for tourism and all that. So maybe it's a good idea to promote these places, not promote Barcelona or Spanish ham. You know what I mean? That's how I feel right now. Cecina, cow and horse ham, very good. So I was thinking this the other day. I say this for the friends of León and all that, and the friends in the Arab world, Abu Dhabi, the king of Spain, Abu Dhabi, all that is said already. And now I go with my B agenda, this girl, I think, is connected to the Jewish world, and I know she likes to ride horses, like Arab horses, because the food, I am talking cecina, the ham of the cow and of the horse is called cecina from Leon, but that Leon, also I am gonna finish with the A agenda, that is Leon means lion, but there is a Leon in Spain, a region called Leon, it was the old kingdom, and there is in Nueva España, that is Mexico, there is a place called Nuevo León, New Lion. And he thinks there is a city there called Monterrey, right? The capital is Monterrey. Monterrey, near the border, Texas and all that. There is industrial life there and all that. And I think it's Nuevo León, right? Capital Monterrey. Maybe I knew somebody from Nuevo León, but I don't remember very well. But there is a Monterrey in, like there is a New León in Mexico, there is Monterrey in New Mexico, in New León, and then there is Monterrey in California, northern of San Francisco. The other day I was talking with a guy from Napa Valley, here living in Navarra, doing spicy food, spicy salts, habanero and mango, jamacuco, it's called jamacuco. The orange salts. The orange salts, is here now. Very cool. Monterrey, beautiful. I don't know what's going on exactly there, but there is a Monterrey Nuevo León in Mexico, and there is a Monterrey. So sometimes we repeat the same names. So if you hear León and Nuevo León, what is going on? Yeah, it's connected somehow, okay? So the horses which you kill the horse, yes, for meat, yes, and you can eat, and I have eaten, and my family has cows, and my family has horses, and you have those horses living in the mountains totally free, during the summer, and during the year, mostly, all the summer they are free in a natural place, big, in the border between Spain and France, in the Pyrenees, it's kind of, it's a very beautiful place, you have mushrooms there. I'm not gonna talk more because it gets full of tourists, and there is a problem with tourism there, but we have the horses there. You kill those horses. Those horses are not Arabic horses, Spanish horses, as you know, to jump and ride, and is your best friend, and I understand you love horses, okay? I understand people in Spain love horses. There is, Pablo Hermoso de Mendoza, and there is all, he rides horses, and he, from the horse, he's like a bullfighter on top of a horse, and the guy does a show. The show is the show. You have to say that, And I know you care a lot about the bulls and killing bulls and all that. Yeah, I think, with ducks, I was thinking about ducks, it's forbidden in foie. I have a family member that produces ducks and foie, and I have eaten a lot of ducks and foie in my life. It's forbidden in New York State, maybe, Hillary Clinton, but it's not forbidden opioids. Sometimes we take more care of bulls and horses than humans, so that can happen too, so we have to respect different cultures. I think in the the people with cats, they love animals, right? But cutting the balls of the cat is very usual, right? With people that, I have my cat and I'm gonna cut the balls, or maybe you just put a chemical and you change the chemical of the cat forever. So you love an animal, but the way you build the animal, right? Not the animal itself from right away from nature, no? I mean, the debate can go on and on and on. So, and I want to go straight forward. I don't want surprises in the future. Oh, this guy, have you find out his family grows horses for meat? Yeah, it's real. It's real, yeah, and we sell them to Italy most of the time alive, and they kill the animals in Italy. Yeah, Italians do that too, you know. This bullfighting campaign, you don't talk about dead horses for meat. No, why not? Because Italians do it too, and Italians have more power in America, so we are not gonna, or in San Francisco, in Silicon Valley maybe, and we don't want problems with the Italians, because yeah, I mean, I have seen The Godfather, you know, Francis Ford Coppola's movie in number 2, number 1. There is a moment where this producer in Hollywood, he doesn't want to do something with a singer. I don't know exactly the movie, why they give a present to this producer, Hollywood producer. They send him the head of a dead horse, right? And maybe probably this is into cinema culture. Maybe a lot of people have seen the movie and say, oh, they kill the animal, the horse, and they send the dead horse head to the guy, and it's a threat, and we're gonna kill you. Yes, that's part of it, but it's not the whole story. The horse was not killed in order to send the threat to the guy. Well, actually, it was the head of the horse the guy just bought for riding, right? What happens to the horses after riding when they break a leg? I don't know. I have heard maybe they use it for dog food. I have to tell the joke about why I like to be taught a dog, but you know, so we eat horses. Yes, we eat horses. We sometimes sell it to Italy. They kill them there. Sometimes we kill them here. We have like a butcher shop of specialized in horse, and it's very good food actually, because horse, they don't take hormones very well, so the meat of the horse is kind of more, you know, healthy than cows. Yeah, so we do that. That's my family business, and you know, I had to say this. You know, I understand the love for horses. Yes, I understand the need to eat. Yes, I understand. Yeah, let's address this too about my accent, because sometimes maybe, you know, somebody can be thinking, yeah, let's talk about the accent. Yeah, because it's American history. Let's talk about American history a little bit, because yeah, sometimes it's like people laugh at my accent. I've been in LA, you know, and I've been with all people with better accent than me. You know, I'm not gonna say Anglo-Saxons, because maybe they are Polish, you know, but they are Polish that speaks very well English, you know, or Jews that speak very well English, or Latinos that speak very well English, and they can make a joke about my accent because it's not the best, and I don't give a shit about my accent. If I tell you the truth too, you know, for me it's a waste of time. If you understand me, it's okay. I get it that sometimes I listen to Spanish people talking in English and I don't understand them. I understand very well the English talk by North American people, yes, but or the people that learns English in the United States of America, but the people that speaks English from England, I sometimes don't understand them. It's true, and sometimes Spanish people talking very well English, and I don't understand them neither, dude. And Spanish people talking bad English, sometimes it's easier to understand them, you know. People from Mexico or from Spain that they are, you know, trying to explain them, and they use the worst pronunciation, but when it's really worst pronunciation, I understand them, because I know, oh, he's trying to say the pronunciation and he doesn't know. But when it's the very well pronunciation from a Spanish guy, I don't understand them, you know. But I understand it's funny sometimes, you know, so I don't care. I mean, that day, you know, I was in a shooting, I wasn't getting paid. I was helping my my neighbor from Venezuela, she had a boyfriend from Anglo-Saxon, I think. The girl, she was directing, it was a little chaos. Maybe I made a commentary, or maybe they noticed I was like, dude, this is gonna be a horrible shooting if you don't get organized, but you know, but at that moment somebody begins to imitate my accent, you know. The guy was Anglo-Saxon, and suddenly he was giving instructions to the people with a weird accent, you know. I was the only guy there with a strong accent, you know, and you can feel it, like, what the fuck is going on? I'm not getting paid here and you are laughing at me or something. It was kind of easy to manage. It wasn't, I mean, it's not a nice thing, but at that moment I was sober, and I was like, I know how to deal very, you know, it was like, if something is hurting me, is something wrong inside of me, you know. And if the guy is doing that, the guy is really lost, and with somebody so lost, bringing him to the light, it's gonna be difficult. So maybe don't do nothing, because the guy was clearly lost. The production was really horrible, and the topic, everything was horrible in that production. But and you know, the guy, if I am a problem to that guy, you know, I was helping him, you know, so you know, it wasn't, you know, I'm not gonna fight that fight. But the guy did it, you know, and somehow you have to address that and work that, you know, later. Recently, you know, I was thinking like, dude, what if that happens to you in a moment where you are in business, right? You are the guy giving the orders, and they begin to, you know, feel they have this tool to change your management, and I'm gonna use that tool to manage you, you know. So I have this tool, I can laugh at your accent, and if you laugh, you know, I can laugh at your accent. So behave with me, because I am dangerous for you. That's what they are telling you, right? By showing you that they can imitate your accent very well and make fun of you. Okay, and they can use that tool, and they use that tool. You begin to not control the production, and the production is gonna be controlled by this asshole, you know, and it's gonna be a total horrible movie, right? So I thought about the topic, right? And the solution came to me. Yeah, it's like it's easy. It's easy. The solution is kind of easy, you know. It's like, think about your grandpa. Think about your grandpa. This is American history. Think about your grandpa. Every single person that came to America, to the United States of America, or South America, or Central America, because they can laugh at my accent in South America, in Mexico. Yeah, in Mexico, they make jokes about the Spanish. They call us Gallegos, that is a region from Spain that they have a lot of, is close to the ocean, and they have a lot of people, they control the sea, you know, they are very good sailors and all that. So they went all over America, and in America, when the independence came from Spain, right, they began to use in a way of despective, like, you are Gallego, you know, you are coming from Spain, you are Gallego. You are, you know, and Gallegos are people that they are not very they are not very aggressive. They have a personality. They are not Irish, but they have Celtic culture. It's a Celtic culture, very close to the Irish and Scotland. I think that's the Celtic culture. I'm not very. There is some connection to the Basque people too. The Basque people and the people from Galicia, the Basque people from the coast, they are very connected to Galicia because they are all sailors. They like to sail, go to the sea. There's fishermen, you know. So people coming from Spain, the immigrants coming to South America after the independence, they were called Gallegos. They despectively. You are not from Spain, you are Gallego. You know, like you are soft, like you don't fight after two insults, you don't fight. They fight in a different way. But that's what they use. And Franco was from Galicia, you know, the dictatorship. He ruled for 40 years Spain, and isolated Spain, you know. Maybe he got connection to the Gallegans outside somehow. I don't know. But there is Gallegos all over America, and Basque, and you know, and they Asturianos too. You have a house of Asturias in. Anyways, I'm gonna speed it up. I'm getting out of battery. So yeah, there is the accent can be a tool, you know. I laugh at your accent and I control you, and you want to be nice to me, because if not, I'm gonna use that against you. Like the race, like everything, sex, whatever, sexual life, whatever. I will talk about the dog thing later. The pronouns it. Okay, so it's easy. It's easy. When they laugh at you about your accent, think about. It's easy. Don't get mad. You remember them, their grandfather. You know, you remember, if you are a man, you remember them, their grandfather. You know, you are the grandfather of them in the moment. They are doing the substitution. You know, because sometimes they laugh in a healthy way. You know, they don't want to laugh, but sometimes people is nicer to you also because of your accent. You know, there is people that loves accents. You know, it's not all the same, but it can be a tool. It can be a tool for me too. You know, I play within my accent. Yes, sometimes you play with your accent. People think, you know, if they hate Mexicans, they think you are Italian. You know, well, play that game. You know, I mean, at the end of the game, of the day, is about you know, surviving the world or living the human experience to the fullest, right? So yeah, so they are thinking about you as your grandfather, and you cannot get mad at somebody, at your nieces. You know, is niece called granddaughter, right? Yes, I had to talk about that too, but I don't remember why. It will come up later, maybe when hour 25, maybe another day. I talk about. Well, the new generations, it's true that they don't have that accent. You know, I like my nephews, niece. What is niece? Niece is like a woman, little woman. Your nephew is man, the son of your brother, right? The son of my brother is a man and is a nephew. The daughter of my brother is a girl and is a niece, maybe. Well, I have two nephews, you know, girl and boy. The girl is older than the boy. She is really smart, and the boy is has strong values. He's smart too, but you know, I think boys and girls develop in a different speed. You know, sometimes girls develop faster. You know, yes, like she's like you know, more calm and all that, and the boy is more aggressive, sometimes not aggressive, you know. He's super cool, but everybody's very cool. I love them and all that, but they don't have an accent in English. You listen to them, and this comes to the sons of my friends. You know, my friend the other day was talking to me like you say, because I have a friend living in Brooklyn, and he has three sons, you know, and one girl and two sons. And the sons, you listen to them talking in English, and it's like Brooklyn. They don't say Brooklyn like me. They say Brooklyn, or I don't know how they, you know, they have the perfect pronunciation, whatever, you know. I respect that too. Yeah, so the accent can be a tool, and they see your yeah, my nephews, they talk 4 languages. I talk 2, my nephews talk 4. Yeah. And they don't have an accent, and you know, so you know, it can be a tool. Maybe they don't have that tool in the future. Maybe they can play that tool. Who knows? They talk Spanish, Italian, English, and German, because they go to a Switzerland school, you know, a school from Sweden. No, Swiss. How do you call the country that is north of Italy? Is Suiza. In Spanish is Suiza. They use 4 languages in that country. They have German, French, Italian, and the 4th is called Romance. Okay, so there is the Italian part of that country called Suiza. In Spanish is Swiss. In English is Swiss, no? Okay. So my nephews they talk 4 languages, right? I talk only 2, Spanish and English for the moment. I think if I try, I can talk a little bit Italian. I tried to talk Italian one day in Italy with the grandmother of my nephews. She's from Italy, and I don't know, maybe, I mean, I think she had a good time listening to me, but I didn't speak very well Italian, but I try. I think, sometimes people think you are making a joke of the language or something, but, when I went to Brazil, I went for 3 weeks to the carnival. I'm not going to say the place, but the good carnival. Because I don't want the carnival to get full of tourists, and they are gonna hate me. It's a moment of relax for the people. Not to be doing business. That yes, there is business, but great place, great experience, very great place, amazing place. But so. Great experience, and at the end of the 3rd week, I talk Portuguese. I knew a little bit Portuguese because I live in Memphis, Tennessee. When I was 15 years old, I did my 11th grade there in a high school, Memphis Public City Schools, high school, metal detector on Fridays, I saw my first gun in the streets in Memphis. Yes, a guy from the school showed me the gun, for $1, not me. I didn't see the gun actually, because we took this guy from the school to his house, with the car of my friend from Dominican Republic. We did our Latin connection there, and we took this guy, he needed a ride home. He said, I pay you $1, take me home. And we were, okay, let's take the $1 and we take you home. When he got home, he couldn't find the $1, and I think he got nervous. He thought we were going to do some mess there, with him, or maybe we were going to react aggressively or whatever. We weren't very strong or big, but, whatever the guy thought was a good idea to get the gun. He put the gun here. He came to my window. I was in the passenger window. He came, he put his hand there. Hello, I'm looking for the $1. I can't find the $1. Hopefully you don't have a problem with that. And I wasn't looking, and I'd say, okay, no problem, I didn't say no problem because it wasn't my car. The guy say, okay, no problem. We left. And he say, oh, wow, did you see that? I was like, no, And he showed us the gun. I said, I didn't see the gun. And he said, yeah, he pulled his t-shirt up, and he showed us the gun, and I said, I didn't saw the gun, but, I believe you. And, that was the thing. So, yes, the Memphis City School. Why I say this about the Memphis City Public School that has gun detectors for the... Yes, but at that moment, it wasn't in the news, the thing of the killing, the massive killings, the Bowling for Columbine thing. Bowling for Columbine in 1998, I think. Well... it wasn't in the news at the moment, but so what happened? I have a pipe for smoking weed, and it was metal, and I had some trouble. I don't know how I passed those. I remember passing the pipe somehow through the metal detector. So having a metal detector is not like the best answer, to this problem. But what happened is that I learned in the Memphis. Why I am talking about Memphis right now. I remember I wanted to say that I learned typing. I type and I learned that in the Memphis city schools. Because sometimes in Spain it's like, oh, you go to and it's true. I came with super high grades. High school in Spain is more difficult, and you get worse grades. I got like super good grades. I can go forever about this, because I almost failed Spanish. I took Spanish classes. I was like, I'm gonna take Spanish, so I get the best grades, right? But no, I got a bad relationship with the teacher, and she was like failing me. I had to change. Part of the documentary, it was built there because in English 11th grade, the blonde girl, I don't remember the name. It was a blonde girl, super nice, young girl, blonde girl, nice, and she said, you have to do a research paper to get the grade, and this, you have to pass English. You can fail whatever other, but English you have to pass, you have to do it. Okay. What are you gonna do? And it's funny, dude, because I wasn't conscious at the moment what that implied in American culture, but I did the research paper about the Cuban Revolution, because at that moment in Spain, we had like a lot of people showing flags of the Che Guevara, and I knew there was I am talking about this because we did a connection with Brazil, and I was talking about Brazil, and I learned some Portuguese in Memphis. And I went to Brazil to Carnival, and I learned Portuguese, and I was telling, and I wanted to say that I learned Portuguese in 3 weeks because it's Latin language. We have the same root. It's very kind of similar. Portuguese from Portugal is more difficult, but Portuguese from Brazil is very connected to my pronunciation. I understood everything. We had a connection, super cool. I never came back, but the connection for me was good. The thing is that in Italy, I tried to do the same, and it was more difficult, because Italian is not as easy as Portuguese for me, but I tried to, and I think trying, just put one step in front of the other and begin to talk. Comienza a parlare l'italiano, la tua lingua è latina, la mia lingua è latina, io sono intentando fare una connessione internazionale che è molto divertida, possiamo connettare, fare una fiesta. I'm talking in English. Now I'm talking in English. Okay, so so I went to Italy, and I talked to the grandmother about this philosophy I have with learning Latin languages, and I think I don't speak very well Italian, but I like Italy, and the accent, sometimes it's helpful, that connection in America, to be confused by Italian, because there is still a lot of, prejudice, you call it? With Basque. My last name is Javier Urtasun. I am Javier Urtasun Palacios. Yes, we use here 2 last names, right? Which doesn't mean much, but if I tell you the truth, because my family, the second last name is my mother's last name, and first is the father's last name. My father's last name, Urtasun, means land with water, something like that in Basque. In the language of Basque, that is like our local, our root language, native language, I don't know, but I don't speak it, but I try to. I took some classes, and I'm not very good with languages. I'm not gonna lie to you. The thing of Portugal, of Brazil worked, because after a carnival and all that, and it's the same route, but we have like so let's talk about, did I finish with Memphis? We have to talk about the last name. That's in the B agenda, because if I have kids in the United States, there are tricks to get the two last names in the same last name, because you only use one last name. And for me, it's important, I am very progressive or whatever, but the last name of my son and daughter, I want them to have my last name. Why? In first position. Why? Because the mother is gonna build the kid, right? And the kid is gonna be attached to the mother. We know that I am attached to my mother. And in a strong way, I was afraid of my dad at the beginning. And yes, when I went to Disney World, there was a connection there. not because of what you think, like he took you to Disney World. No, I was afraid in Disney World with my dad a little bit. I was 8 years old, I didn't, but it was like, Dad, can we buy like this ball? It was a baseball ball, right? And my dad, okay, yes, let's go. And we go to the shop, and there was like a soccer ball and a football ball with Mickey Mouse, and it was like soft. I have it somewhere, not here. And it was like, so. And my dad said, which one do you want? Is this one or this one and this one? And my dad said, don't you want the 3? And I was like, okay, and he bought the 3 different balls, right? And it was like, dude, maybe my dad is not, like a very bad person. I don't want to say it's ogro. No, not ogro, but it's not like Shrek is an ogro in Spanish. I don't want to call, I love my dad. I don't have a trauma with that, but, he was serious. He was a serious guy. I was more attached to my mother. That's the truth. That's how I was in the past. And now it's equal, because I grow up, and you get independent and all that, but that happened. So the last name is important for me, because if I don't produce the kid like 100%, because the mother is gonna be 100% in all the process. I'm gonna be at the beginning and in the growing up and raising the kid, right? But there is the milk and all that. I cannot provide that, and so is something I wanted to address. I eat horses, and so I think it's gonna be, let me think about the Memphis City schools. I learned to type. I learned the research paper. Did I say this? I did a research paper about the Cuban Revolution, and Fidel Castro was in the research paper, obviously, and Che Guevara, and I did like this. So I learned through this blonde girl how to do a research paper. You find the data. I went to there was almost no internet at that time in Memphis, and in the school, we didn't have like computers to look for information. We went to the library, right? The books in the library, you go there and you look for books from the Cuban Revolution in a Memphis City school in United States of America, right? In those days, 1996, I'm talking, and I began to collect data. For example, in Cuba, before the revolution, there was only electricity in, maybe, maybe 30% of the island. In 5 years after the Cuban Revolution, it was light in maybe 80% of the island, in 5 years, and or something like that. milk for the kids. There was no milk for kids available. It was only for 20% of the population. In 5 years, maybe they got help, but it wasn't from the get-go they were in the socialist side. No. They tried. Fidel Castro went to New York a couple of times to talk and do and then and no, those diplomats, those American diplomats, they weren't playing very well. I don't know what happened there, but so those data, I found it when I was 15. At that moment I was 16 years old already. That was at the end of the high school year, 1997, and I learned how to create a research paper. You look for the data, you collect the data, and you write it, and then you do you write where you can find that data, and so you investigate the data, and you do the same with the data. You look for the data, and you see it's real. And I did the same with nomoreunemployed.org. With the pharma industry worldwide and in Spanish market, European market, American market. We talk a lot about that. Latin American market also sometimes, and this is I remember my experience in Memphis a lot. When was one of my best years in my life. Yeah. And I got connected to the Latin community there, strong Latin community, thanks to not because there weren't many workers, but there were people in the hospital, St. Jude's Hospital, and they were for cancer for kids. There were people treating themselves, and I think it's a very good hospital. I don't know what's going on more there, but I don't know what's really going on there. I haven't studied there. Maybe there is something going on. What I want to say, I am getting lost. Let's talk about woman, maybe. Why I was talking about Memphis. Made some friends there. The accent, I am your grandpa. When you laugh at me, you laugh at your grandpa. Maybe grandpa is funny. Okay, laugh at your grandpa. But everybody had an accent in America. In Peru, Mexico, whatever. Most people, more than half of the people has blood. There is very few native Americans for real. There is very few. Everybody has a grandpa that came from outside. If your grandpa came in the Mayflower, he had an accent. Because the Sioux, when they heard the guy, was like, they laugh at your grandpa too. Maybe your grandpa killed the Sioux. I'm not planning killing nobody for laughing at my accent. I don't think that's a reason to kill anybody. Yeah, so you laugh at your grandpa. Okay, laugh at your grandpa. It's okay with me. We all, if you come from Ireland, you had an accent, because the accent in England and the accent in the United States right now is different. So if you come from England, they are going to laugh at your accent at some point too. The same in England with you being American, that is going to happen. And you being American in Spain, they're going to laugh at your accent, So you can laugh at that, and sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's a tool, sometimes it's helpful, sometimes you have to deal with that. This is my trick. I have more things to do. I am running out of battery. I am not talking in Spanish very much today. I need help. I want to make a connection. I want to build a family. Yes. Where to live is not important for me. I think love is more important. I just ask for, keeping the last name. There is a trick, because, for example, my brother, he had their son and daughter, and they were born in Italy because the mother is Italian, but they when they do the paperwork, I don't know what happened there. Oh, they did the paperwork in Italy, so in Italy they only have one last name, like in America, I think. So they wrote my two last names, right? Like one. So maybe, and they are gonna change it, and they are in the process of changing to, so when you change the last name, there is a moment where we can mix the last name, and they will have like my last name and your last name, and my last name is gonna be first because you are the mother, and you are gonna give them a lot of information and things, and and maybe they are, I don't know, maybe they can be born in Spain if you want, or maybe in America. I want to keep my, I don't want to be American. That's the other thing. Yes, you want to get married because of the papers. Obviously, there is some need of me for not be kicked out, because if not, I have to go every 3 months to Tijuana. That maybe I can deal with that, but or if I am in New York, I can go to the Canada, I go a weekend to see the falls, Niagara Falls, or if I live in Detroit, it's kind of easier. If I live in Detroit and I like the music there, maybe that's a good idea. But if that has to be, if I have to be like that at the beginning, it's okay. But I may need some type of, yes, you have to address it. It's like he eats horse. Yes, well, yes, I need a paperwork. And if you come here, you will need it too. But I don't want to be American, if I tell you the truth. Because if I am American, maybe I have to go to war. It can be like Vietnam. You never know what can happen. History comes in circles. I want to have my backup, my plan B, that is coming back to Spain for my kids. I want my kids to have like the Spanish nationality. Yes, they have to be able to come back and do whatever they need to do here and whatever. So and I don't want to be like American, like in my passport, because at the end of the day, if I think it's important to vote. If you live there, you need to vote, and I would like to vote, yes. But I think when you became American citizen, the IRS and things like that, maybe there's a problem with that. Maybe being 100% American, I don't know if it's I don't know. For me, that Spain has some kind of European Union thing, I don't know. I tell you that I got trouble in the border, and I have a special thing. Sometimes they ask me if I have my medication. I am not taking medication anymore. I don't know how it's gonna be the next time I go there, but every time I go there, I go to the process of, I go to a room. You know what I mean? Yes. It's not like the washroom. I saw the guy, hello, usually it's a Latino, so, there is a connection. I don't feel like super in danger, but, you are always, subject to, I went to Dallas, dude, and it was like, what happens now? If they don't allow me, it's 12 hours again back to Madrid. My parents are here. I went with my parents to Dallas, and it was like, you get a little bit, your mother sees that you go through the special line, and it's like, maybe, maybe my son has to be reviewed, and it's not nice. It's not the worst thing, but it's not nice, and they always have the chance to reject you, and that's the fucked up thing. So maybe if I have a green card or something like that, maybe it's helpful. So I'm not gonna lie to you. If we get married, that is gonna be helpful for me to work. Let's have that clear. You are gonna have the same benefits maybe if you come to Spain, so that and I think that's about it. The passport thing and all that. Yeah, so they're gonna talk about that. I mean, you have to know that. Probably you know better than me. They are gonna talk about the accent and the whatever, dude. Like the guy is not very tall, is not very smart, is not very cute, is not blonde, is not that, whatever. I don't know what you're looking for. You know. But it's life. Life has many. Is the narrative. If you build a strong narrative, you are good to go. You are good to go with whoever, whatever. At the end of the day, it's about being, happy. Being in shutdown, surrounded by people that are interesting, that they are proactive, willing to find a solution. Because you are gonna be in shutdown with people. Oh, dude, I don't have internet. Dude, I don't have this. And I went through that. I broke a window. Yes, but I'm not. This time I'm ready. This time I'm ready. And that's another thing we have to address. If you tell the truth, you are dangerous, and people hiding, they are your partners and your better friends. Okay, we all have shit, a lot of shit, but it's not shit, it's life, and it's not positive and negative emotions, are emotions, and because we begin to call negative emotions and suddenly something you are feeling that is a reaction to something that needs to be addressed is called negative. No, it's information that your body is telling you. You have to address that, and it's addressing that is the first step to solution. And so no, you have a lot of negative thoughts. I mean, maybe they have negative thoughts, and they are putting that on you, and maybe you have a reaction to what is happening to you. And that may be perfectly valid. So I don't know. There is a lot of things, as like talking about intelligence, artificial intelligence, and in Spanish and in English, and we could do like the best, content, like getting ready for shutdown. It's gonna help people in the future. It's gonna be super fun to find out ways we can deal with this. It's like going to the Robinson Crusoe island, and being like playing again to imagine, and daydreaming, and going to the basic, and that's what we need, and people probably better than me, but people with a lot of power or money or whatever, they are very basic at the end of the day, and they need what they need, and sometimes big projects are just for that people is as important as for a plumber fixing the water thing, which for water needs pumping, by the way, like pumping and and if there is no energy, there is no power, there is going to be a lack of water too. The dimension of this, and talking about the dimension of this can be a super cool podcast. We could do this. I don't know when it's going to happen, like organizing, the community radio. That will be super nice. Maybe, the local the newspapers are gonna be telling all type of lies. When that happens, they are gonna, the media is gonna try to do business with the shutdown, the lockdown, and they are gonna try to make us think that the energy has to be put in a TV channel or in the internet. No. We need community radios. We are gonna do our own newspaper by hand, and we do 3 copies for every neighborhood, and we have, maybe there's gonna be all kind of things going on, and I think it's super great moment to get together, and I feel we can do this. This is a message for everybody now. This is a agenda now. There are gonna be tough moments at the beginning, but we need to get ride the horse again. We need to ride the horse again. The horse, the artificial intelligence is building things to control human people, not to help human people, you know, building this, you know, building scripts, building, doing movies, doing this, and I'm gonna tell you you are sick, I'm gonna tell you how to tell this guy that has cancer. You know, this is happening already. Artificial intelligence has programs how to tell you that you have cancer. You have to tell this way. They are telling us how to tell other humans bad news. You know, that's intelligence. And how you tell that bad news can make the people think that you are in good hands, you know, and that the only goal of them is taking all your money, you know. You know, and let's fight together, you know who you are. I'm not gonna give names or anything. I have sent already some to your people, and you know, I would like to work together. Have a nice day.